Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Monday, August 15th slate of MLB action. I'm super excited to dive into it. We do have a pretty full slate of MLB on once again. It should be a lot of good matchups, and we do have a play in one of my favorite games of the entire slate so far tonight, so I am super excited to dive into it. But before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. Make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently trying to hit that 7,000 mark by the time that the NBA season does start, so hopefully we can, so that way I can do another giveaway for you guys. That truly would be awesome. So make sure that you guys are subbed. But without any further ado, last thing, I wanted to give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, way more than you guys will ever know. It truly does mean so much. So thank you guys so much for that. Without any further ado, we'll go ahead and do a quick recap of yesterday. We ended up losing just a little bit of money, ended up losing a little bit of juice. So we did end up having Cleveland plus a half in the first five. Cleveland actually ended up winning the full game outright. I was trying to decide between if I wanted the first five or the full game run line. I really wasn't sure which one to go with, but I ended up going with the first five. Still ended up working out. Cleveland got red hot out the gates, and they just basically carried it all the way through the game. They won pretty big. I don't remember the exact score, but I think it was like 6-2 maybe, something. I don't remember exactly, but they ended up winning pretty big. Toronto is just a team to definitely fade when they're at home right now. I'm not sure why, but they have really struggled at home here recently, so that one ended up working out for us. Then we had the tough beat. We had the A's and the Houston Astros under 8 runs at minus 110 odds. This one was super tough. The main reason because going into the top of the ninth, the score was 6-1. Houston was leading. Well, the A's ended up getting 2 runs to hit the over, so it was very unfortunate. And then obviously they didn't play the second half because Houston was winning. So it was super tough, super close, but, that one ended up ultimately not working out for us either. So, but that, it is what it is. We went 1-1. We're going to bounce back today. I feel really good. Hopefully we go 2-1 or even 3-0. I really think we can today. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So our first play of the day, we're going to be taking the Mariners and the Angels under 3.5 runs here in the first 5 innings at minus 135 odds. Now, if you take a look at it, the Angels, they are 61, 44, and 7 to the under in the first 5, which is the second best under percentage in the entire MLB in the first 5 innings. And the Mariners, they're really not too far behind them. They are 56, 49, and 7 to the under in the first 5 innings, which is the fourth highest under percentage in the first 5. The Angels, they are also 31, 18, and 7 to the under at home this year. And the Mariners are 27, 24, and 5 to the under on the road this year. So both these teams are in advantageous spots. The Angels being at home, the Mariners being on the road. Both these teams do allow a lot of unders in that situation. Also, the Mariners are 18th in first 5 runs per game. So they are kind of in that mid-tier. However, that does drop about 0.03 on the road. So not a huge advantage, but it is a little bit of one. And the Angels in their first 5 runs per game, they're at 25th. So they are one of the worst teams in the entire MLB when it comes to the first 5 runs per game. So hopefully we do see some more of that. Seattle is also a really great defense, and the Angels aren't really a terrible defense either. Seattle, they allow the 5th fewest runs per game in the entire MLB. The Angels, they allow the 11th. So the Angels are just outside that top 10. I definitely think they can hold them off here, at least in the first 5. And we have 2 fantastic pitchers. And I think it's just a great spot to target. We have Luis Castillo on the mound here for Seattle with a 2.71 ERA over the course of the season, a 2.36 ERA on the road this year, and a 2.12 in his last 5. So not only has he been really good over the course of the season, he's even better than what he is over the season on the road, and he's been really good in these last 5 games. If you look at his last 5 starts, he has an earned run log of 0, 3, 3, 1, and 1. Now, these are a little bit inflated, including the 3 and 3. I know that these are very low numbers, but the 3 and 3 It's because he's pitched at least 7 innings in all of these games. He goes really late into the game. He goes way past like the first 5 innings, and I think he does that once again. And on the flip side of the mound, for the Angels, they have Shohei Ohtani. Do I really need to say much more? Probably not, but he does have a 2.68 ERA over the course of the season, so he's been fantastic. And so we have two great pitchers against two good defenses, along with two teams that don't really score the ball super well. So we're going to be riding with it. I love this play. We're taking it. Mariners and the Angels under 3.5 runs in the first 5 innings at minus 135 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we're going to be taking a run line here. We're taking the Phillies minus 1.5 here versus the Reds at minus 110 odds. Now, I don't love to target, favorite run lines just because it is kind of hard to cover that 2 runs. But I think this is a good spot for them, and here's why. Philadelphia, they are 33 and 23 to the run line on the road, so they are, well above 500. Well, Cincinnati, they're well below 500 at home. They are 26 and 32 to the run line at home this year. Definitely still struggling at home. Philadelphia is also coming off of a 5-run loss to the Mets, and I definitely think this is a fantastic spot for a bounce back for them because right before that game, they had covered in 6 of their last 8 before that. So I think that's another really great spot to target. Cincinnati, however, on the flip side of things, they're starting to trend in the wrong direction. They've actually only covered in 1 of their last 6 games, and they have been underdogs in a lot of these situations, so they haven't even really been keeping these games close. So I think that's another really good spot to target. Philadelphia is also just a much better team when it comes to just about every stat that you can think of. Philadelphia is 7th when it comes to runs per game. Cincinnati is 20th. So we have one team in the top 10 of the MLB when it comes to runs per game, the other one in the bottom 10. So I think that's a good spot to go. Philadelphia is also a much better defense. They are 8th when it comes to runs allowed. Cincinnati is 28th. So way opposite ends of the spectrum. And we have Noah Syndergaard on the mound here for Philadelphia. And he hasn't really been fantastic this year. He does have a 3.96 ERA over the course of the season. But on the flip side of the mound, I think that they have one that might be a little bit worse. They have Mike Minor for Cincinnati with a 6.24 ERA over the course of the season, and he has a 1-9 record so far in the games that he has started. So I think that's a really good spot to target. And when it does come to this bullpen, I think that's where we really see a ton of value. Philadelphia, they're really kind of in the middle of the MLB when it comes to bullpen ERA. They're at 15th, so they're almost dead. They're like dead in the middle. Cincinnati's dead last. So I think that that's a really good spot to target. That's the reason I took the full game as opposed to the first 5. So I really do like this one, so hopefully it works out for us. We're taking it. Phillies minus 1.5 here versus Reds at minus 110 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we're going back to the NRFI. We're taking the Mets and the Braves, no run first inning at minus 125 odds. Now, I know both these offenses are pretty good just in general, but I think these are really good spots to target, and here's kind of why. And also, it's juiced to the under for a reason. I have seen NRFIs that are in plus value, but this is a really good one to target, and let me tell you why. So the Mets, they do average 0.83 first inning runs per game at home. Now, normally, I would be staying away from that so much, but this number on the road drops all the way down to 0.43. They do not score nearly as many first inning runs per game on the road as they do at home this year. And the Braves, a very similar situation. They average 0.55 runs per game in the first inning on the road. That number drops all the way down to 0.44 at home. So both these teams are in spots where it's very advantageous to the NRFI. Also, they have fantastic pitchers on the mound. We have Carlos Carrasco for the Mets. 3.76 ERA over the course of the season, a 1.93 ERA through 14 innings pitched versus Atlanta, and a 1.44 ERA in his last 5 games. So he's been really solid here recently, and he's been really good versus Atlanta. Been pretty decent over the course of the season. So I think this is a good spot for him. And Spencer Strider is going to be on the mound here for Atlanta. He has a 3.11 ERA over the course of the season and drops all the way down to 2.76 at home. He's been really good at home. And if you look at his earned run logs, he has 4, 1, 1, 5, and 1. So he either pitches really good or he pitches really bad. So hopefully we can see one of those really good days out of him since he is coming off of a little bit more of a poor day. Also, He has pitched 12 straight shutout first innings. So I think that that's a really good spot to target as well. So we're going to be riding with it. That's going to be our third and final play of the day. Mets and the Braves, no run first inning at minus 125 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Sander signing out. Peace.